Democratic fundraiser David Damiano pleaded not guilty to extortion charges in federal court in Newark today. The man who allegedly used his connection to the governor to extort $40,000 from a Piscataway farmer said nothing as his attorneys entered the plea. Michael Aaron reports.
The government accuses Damiano of shaking down the farmer for $40,000 in campaign contributions and cash.
Mr. Damiano, are you being treated fairly by the government? Is there anything you want to say at this point?
In court, his lawyer entered a plea of not guilty. Federal Judge William Walls said the complexity of the case prevented him from setting a trial date. He scheduled a status conference for September 9th. Damiano made his first court appearance last Tuesday. He remains on bail of $100,000 secured by 2 apartments in Woodbridge and is barred from traveling beyond New Jersey and New York City. A Carteret pallet seller and recycler, Damiano has known the governor at least since high school. The government says he used that connection to persuade the owner of this Piscataway farm he could get a better offer from the government for the farmland in return for the $40,000. Damiano's attorney says they'll fight the charge.
Well, we've pleaded not guilty today. We have not yet received any of the discovery. That includes, I understand, a great number of tapes. I also understand that there were search warrants that were executed. We haven't seen any of that either.
Plaza wouldn't discuss the governor's connection to the case. Damiano allegedly brought the farmer and the governor together and got the governor to use a code word, Machiavelli, signaling knowledge of the scheme. McGreevey denies any wrongdoing, and the government has not accused him of any. Plaza was asked how Damiano is holding up.
He's holding up, I think, as well as he could be under the circumstances.
U.S. Attorney Chris Christie, who announced the indictment last week, says today's plea was expected, and the next step is to show the defense the evidence.
We'll reveal our evidence to the defense, and then they'll have an opportunity to review it, to examine whatever that we have that we're going to present at trial. They get a chance to look at, and then we'll get ready to go to trial.
Damiano's plea comes on the heels of the indictment earlier this week of top McGreevey fundraiser Charles Kushner, and yesterday's resignation under an ethical cloud of his Commerce Secretary William Whatley. The governor's Democratic allies are publicly standing by him.
Governor McGreevey did nothing wrong. The farm is still there. I think people, you recognize that this farm is still there. Who's under indictment? One individual is, and does it make is it a concern for the governor? Sure it is, but is it something that implicates him? Clearly it doesn't.
Do you think it's hurting his standing right now?
Well, certainly the press coverage of it is. I think it's been incredibly unfair, particularly the Kushner matter, which he had absolutely nothing to do with.
As the political community ponders what impact all this might have on Governor McGreevey, one observer close to the case today pointed out, at a minimum, if it goes to trial, the governor could be called as a witness in a criminal case. Michael Aaron, NJN News, Newark.